All right, everyone, we have a big win right now for Donald Trump. He has successfully backed down Justin Trudeau and the Mexican government in a single day. He threatened to put a 15% tariff on both countries' imports to the United States. And they said, whoa, 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 wait, Jesus, don't do that. Don't worry, we'll beef up border security. Justin Trudeau going so far as to appoint a fentanyl czar, actually, at the moment. This is in the last 24 hours. This was always Trump's goal. While I would like to see more domestic industry in the United States, and of course if you're tariffing imports on your two biggest trading partners, that could be a little bit helpful in so doing. While I would like to see that, the goal was always to simply back them down and get them to make some sort of conciliatory gesture. This was clearly the end goal. The only country that's not responding in that manner right now is China. China has decided to impose a limited tariff on exports to the United States. That will, by the way, raise the cost of goods. However, that will only be temporary. Once they realize that the domestic industries in the United States are thriving because they're finally competitive with your prices, I think things will change a little bit. With Canada and Mexico, though, it was mainly about stopping drug flow into the United States, so cartel activity, things like that. Securing the border, that's a big part of it. And also attempting to rework the economic relationship between the three countries. Because we are part of, effectively, an economic union when you really think about it. And so Trump has achieved his goal. He achieved it in 24 hours. Imagine that. He's very, very ruggedly effective in some cases. With China, it's a little bit different. Of course, they're not on the same continent. There's no border control sort of thing to worry about with China because they're across the Pacific Ocean. With China, it's more just trying to rebalance trade. And so that'll take a little bit longer. With Trudeau and with the Mexican government, that seems to have worked very, very quickly. Again, they're both pledging that they will guard the borders on their sides as well, which means that the flow of illegal immigrants into the United States will be, I mean, it's not going to be absent, but at the very least, it'll be much more limited. China, it's more about trade relations than anything else. Here's the reason why they all caved. Because they are net exporters to the United States. Canada exports a lot of shit to the US. You remember the Canadian government was threatening to shut off the energy supply only a few days ago. That appears not to be happening. There's probably a reason for that. Oh shit. The United States can eliminate 20% of our economy in a single day. Maybe we should play nice. And so Trump has paused the tariffs on them for at least 30 days. And I suspect that the tariffs won't be coming back. I suspect that that's the extraction that he wanted. Mexico, you're our largest trading partner. You're a net exporter. If we tariff your goods and you tariff ours, you are the one that suffers much more than the United States does. That's just the way that it works, because we're importing a shit ton of goods from your country. Tequila mainly, I suppose. I'm just joking. And I have no problem with Canadians, Mexicans, or even the Chinese, just to be clear. I mean, I know that there are clankers in Mexico, there are clankers in Canada. Probably not in China, though. Pretty sure they can't use YouTube or Rumble. If you're a net importer from another country, the threat of tariffs is greater. You're more reliant on that country for those imports, but the effect of the tariffs is going to be higher than their ability to retaliate against you, because they're not importing as many of your goods to be tariffed. And so with Canada and Mexico, it kind of makes sense now, doesn't it? Trump won. He has totally cucked Justin Trudeau. That poor man, looking at his statement the other day, originally it was all bravado. Well, maybe we'll shut off the fuel to the United States. Maybe we'll take the oil and go. That didn't work now, did it? Trump didn't back down. He just said, fuck it. I'm just going to tariff you anyway. What are you going to do about it? Canada caved. That's the long and short of it, is that Canada caved. Mexico caved. The only ones that didn't cave so far are the Chinese, but that's a limited tariff on only certain goods. And again, it's probably going to hit them harder than it will hit us, because again, we are a net importer of those goods. So if you decide to tariff US-made goods or something like that, it's not going to affect us on the same level of magnitude as the outgoing flow of goods from actual China, because the flow is unidirectional, basically. That's just the way that it works economically. It's like, imagine that you have two countries, and one of them produces a bunch of shit and exports it to the other country, and the other country gets pissy with them, and they decide to wage a tariff war on one another. Who, in the end, ends up getting screwed harder? The net importer gets screwed. The net exporter gets screwed. The United States, though, as a net importer, gets screwed less. This is why, with Canada and Mexico, we've reestablished a nominal relationship. And I suspect that'll continue. Nobody actually wants to invade Canada. Well, some people do, because they're insane. Nobody wants to go to war with Mexico, although our border needs to be more secure. And that's exactly what Trump accomplished. Mexico and Canada have both agreed to police their borders more, to crack down on the fentanyl crisis and things like that. That was the whole goal. The goal wasn't actually to tariff their goods at all, although in some cases it might be a good idea to grow domestic industry. That wasn't the goal. The goal was to threaten them with tariffs and say, look, do what we want, or you're going to get fucked in the ass economically. That was basically the entire goal the entire time. That's about all. Peace out.